Here. Let me try. Let me try another song really quick. Oh, you're recording? Jesus. You didn't tell me you were recording. Okay.
I ever tell you about my Star Trek script?
Star Trek script?
Yeah, I gotta write it down is all. The Enterprise is 5 parsecs out of Rigel 12. Nothing's going on, neutral zone is quiet, the crew is bored, so they put on a pie eating contest. The whole crew's in the galley. They're eating Tullaberry pies. Tullaberries. From Gamma Quadrant, yo.
That's Voyager, dude.
Okay, blueberries then. They're eating blueberry pies as fast as the replicator can turn them out. Finally, it's down to just 3. Kirk, Spock, and Chekhov. Okay, Spock always wins these things.
How is Spock gonna beat Kirk, yo? Spock's like a toothbrush. Look at Kirk. He's got room to spare.
Spock has total Vulcan control over his digestion. You want to hear this or not?
Yeah, go.
Okay, finally, Kirk. He can't take it anymore. He yorks. Now it's just down to Chekhov and Spock. But Chekhov, you see, he's got a whole fat stack of Quatloos writing on this. And he has figured out a way to win. He's got Scotty back in the transporter room, locked in on Chekhov's stomach. Every time Chekhov eats a pie, Scotty beams it right out of him.
Where is he sending him? The toilet?
Space! Oh. There's blueberries just floating out there, frozen because it's in space. And Chekhov is just shoveling them into his mouth. And Spock's like, I can't believe this Russian is defeating me. Meanwhile, Scotty's in the transporter room fiddling with levers when Lieutenant Uhura comes in. And she's got, her big pointies. And Scotty's fingers are all sweaty.
No.
Chekhov screams. He sprays blood out of his mouth. Oh. Scotty beamed his guts into space.
No way.
Face, Andy.
Faces are too unreliable to count on nowadays.
Then what do you rely on?
Well, my gut instinct and inspiration.
I honestly believe that having this be resolved would be what could help there not be any tension between us anymore, but apparently that's not true.
No, we're tough. We hate those people.
I mean, they were my friends.
They're straight. We hate them.
I thought they were like my best friends.
Is it the work of aliens from another universe? Or could it be local people who think they're being real cute and don't realize it's just a lame one-joke bit that should have ended years ago?
Stop the damn dancing! Act like you got some goddamn sense, people! Damn! Don't playing around here!
Another Tolkien showdown?
Yeah, let's have another Tolkien
Last time you were here, we were having a Tolkien showdown, and I smoked you like a ham.
Well, I went to college!
Well, hello and welcome to yet another edition of What the Hell Did You Expect? This is show number 11 in a collector series. I'm your host, Kevin Ryan, weighing in at 184 pounds this week. And sorry for the slightly rocky start this week, especially if you're listening in on the recording. I'm not exactly sure where the recording starts. And it might start with me saying, oh, we're recording, like a level 1 noob. So yeah, just a quick apology for that. But hey, we have Colin Supplee back in the studio this week. Yes, it is. It's on.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic is on.
Oh, okay.
See? The green thing is
Damn it, I
showing.
messed up. Okay, I have a joke.
Well,
what do you call a cyclone of babies?
What?
A crimson typhoon. That's a strike, Eureka! Oh no, my gypsies are in danger! I got a bunch of these, okay?
Okay.
They're Jaeger puns, in case you didn't catch on.
Yeah, I caught on.
Couldn't think of one for Cherno Alpha because, Cherno's not a word. It's just like a short for Chernobyl, so it's like...
Yeah. Why would you name anything after Chernobyl?
I don't know. Big and nuclear.
Well, yeah, I guess. Hey man, it's good to have you back in the studio.
Yeah, boy! I'm back here. Hooray. Oh.
Yeah.
This is my life, guys.
How was Con?
Oh, yeah. So not last weekend.
Yeah,
last
last
weekend, like 6 days. Wow, it feels like longer because shit,
Like a week
has
ago.
gone down. But
Yeah.
I went to SakuraCon last weekend, which is a giant anime convention in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, in the Washington State Convention Center place, and it was fun because I walked around dressed up as Luigi from Super Mario Brothers in very enthusiastic regalia. I had a big cardboard mustache, and it was actually super rad. I didn't get any sleep. We stayed in a really nice hotel. I spent a lot of time like ferrying my club members because I was put there with the anime club, and I'm kind of administrator kind of guy, so helping with things, ferrying people around and doing the fun stuff. I talked to a lot of great, cool people like artists and creators and dudes. I schmoozed up with comic artists. I was like, "Whoa, hey guys, what's up?" And they're all like, "Wow, you're good." And I was like, "Yeah, you're good. Let's be good together." Oh yeah. Made some new friends, which are cool. There's no way in fuck they're listening to this, but hi guys.
In case they are.
In case they are. I don't even remember your names, but it escapes me. I remember their Tumblr names, but no, it's because
Which is almost as important.
Almost,
because
I did actually post episode 9 to my Tumblr just to see if anyone would like click on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't click on it. I don't know how to check that. But anyway, yeah, what else did I do at con?
Yeah, no, the internet's a mystery.
I went to this thing called, that I think we should try sometime. It's called Where Fanfic Goes to Die, where you read really bad pornographic fanfiction at 2 in the morning with a bunch of really drunk people.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't drunk, but I got the feeling other people in the hall were.
Probably.
So, it was exciting. What else? What the fuck else did I do? It's been like a week. I've had time to process, and I've just been like, "Durr, finals." I went to panels. I talked about giant robots. I hung out with my friends.
I mean, you always talk about giant robots.
Yeah, I
feel
bought
like...
things. I bought a coat. I bought a bitchin' coat.
Yeah, it looks like you're a legit mage.
Yeah, I feel like a
wizard,
like a casual urban wizard.
It's pretty urban wizard. Oh my god, that reminds me of there's this Seinfeld episode where Elaine goes to work for I don't remember who. Jay Peterman, I think, and she develops the urban sombrero.
I still haven't seen Seinfeld.
Wait, serious?
Yeah, I've never seen.
No,
Seinfeld.
I think we have
talked
about this on the show even before. Which again, I'll remind you that you should, because there's a character named Kramer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know that there's a character named Kramer. I know apparently I act kind of like him.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen Seinfeld though. His first name is like Jay Leno or something.
No.
Oh.
Cosmo Kramer.
Okay, I'm getting my Twitch Plays Pokemon and my Seinfeld mixed up. I'm sorry.
Jay Leno. Jay Leno's a guy who does late night talk show.
Yeah, there's a Rattata in Twitch Plays Pokemon called.
What's a Rattata?
It's like a rat. It's a Pokemon. It's a rat Pokemon.
What's a Pokemon?
A Pokemon is like a thing you throw balls at. It's like Digimon, but more slavey.
So like my ex-girlfriend?
Do you have your ex-girlfriend in the ball somewhere? 'Cause that would be really fucked up. Just saying.
No, that's a really it's a terrible joke.
Jeff Goldblum is on the show now. But so yeah, I just okay. I don't know about you, but I've created a ritual for myself where an hour before this show. This is actually why I'm late. Like for the past few weekends, this has been why I'm late. I will stop. I always, like, after dinner on Sundays, I will go down to the studio and I will work on a painting, which I worked on for 2.5 hours.
Right.
And then I went down to the computer lab where no one is in the art studio, and I just watched the newest episode of Game of Thrones. So,
oh yeah.
So I've seen season 4, episode 4, and it's a time.
Yeah,
I mean, Joffrey doesn't die again, so it's not a big thing.
Okay,
but...
yeah, don't say a single thing because I haven't seen it yet.
But you've spoiled the entire thing for yourself.
Well, not entirely. I've spoiled bits. Like, I know everything that happens to Tyrion.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know much else.
All right, because
there's
some interesting things that happen.
Yeah. That
said, everything's kind of a letdown after the second episode, because the second episode was like, tension is high, and now tension's kind of low again. So it's
it'll build. It's a slow build.
A slow burn.
Build.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about TV. It just takes so fucking long to get to the part where they're all murdering each other.
But it's build and like especially character building. I mean, that's what it all is.
Okay, but it's like did I really need 5 seasons of Breaking Bad? I could have just watched the last 3 episodes have been satisfied. But no, not really. I'm glad Breaking Bad exists. But
Jesus, I was about to say like blasphemy levels, Colin.
yeah,
Jeez.
no, that was pretty blasphemy. I'm still getting used to this whole 50-minute episode thing. I was a guy who grew up on cartoons until I was 17.
Yeah.
So the 55-minute episode time slot is still very baffling to me. It's like, why isn't it over? I should have had to click refresh by now.
Yeah, it's also weird because like I've been getting into there's a British series called Luther.
Oh yeah, you told
which
me about
is it's a lot like Sherlock.
Yeah.
Except not.
Except not with Martin Luther King.
Well, not really with Idris Elba.
Oh, never mind.
Who's I mean not really at all like Martin Luther King.
Nope.
In any way. I mean he's black. But like that's about the only thing
Like
they
the
have in
nail
common.
with the hammer there, right, Kevin?
Well, what? I mean, it's like, what are the...
I will say this about, speaking of Idris Elba.
What?
I will say this about the new episode of Game of Thrones, is that...
Is he on it?
No, but the guy who plays one of the dorky scientists from Pacific Rim, which Idris Elba was in, is in the new episode of Game of Thrones.
The American one or the British one?
The one that isn't the guy who's like with the glasses and tries to drift with the Jaeger.
Oh, so not Charlie Kelly.
Not Charlie Sheen.
No, Charlie Kelly. Charlie Sheen went crazy on cocaine and saw tigers.
Not Charlie Kelly. The guy who looks like J.J. Abrams, not him. The other guy. But
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He's in
That's
it,
cool.
and he is not the guy who was in Pacific Rim at all. And I'm like, actors, right? They act. It's weird.
Of course they act.
Well, it's like
because Russell Crowe only does Russell Crowe.
Yeah, because I'm so used to like people like, oh, it's Robert Downey Jr. He's gonna act like Robert Downey Jr. Oh, it's Russell Crowe. He'll be Russell Crowe. But this guy's like, whoa, 180. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm always on the lookout for actors who really stretch themselves in a lot of ways. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I'm so attracted to Luther also, is because I get to see Idris Elba playing a part that is so vastly different from one of his other big parts, which was in The Wire.
Yeah.
He plays Stringer Bell, who's like sort of one of the high-level gangsters, an American gangster in Baltimore, and now Idris Elba is playing a British cop.
That's fun.
So it's a really interesting juxtaposition.
I still like the version of Idris Elba where he drives the giant robot. Just saying.
You were so damn predictable.
Predictable in that I have consistent taste.
Well,
people will always know what the fuck to get me for my birthday.
Predictable in that I know that Colin Suplee's birthday in 2015, I'm going to get you a giant robot.
If you actually do that, I will legit get you a suck squid.
I can't promise how large the giant robot is going to be.
Even the small ones are like $60-$70 for a nice toy, so...
Yeah. I mean...
I have a friend at Con who like...
Just think giant robot like the robot that Ripley gets in at the end of... Is it Aliens?
Aliens, yeah. It's a janky robot. It gets the job done, though.
Yeah. No, it killed the thing, sort of.
Killed the fuck out of it. It was great.
Yeah. That alien sure was dead.
Well, except it wasn't, because there was a third movie, but...
Well, yeah.
And then there was a fourth movie. And,
which there shouldn't have
Ripley
been.
was an alien.
I mean, first of all, there shouldn't have been a second movie. I think...
Dude, Aliens was awesome! Are you really going to get me into this debate now?
Do
you want to have this debate on the show? Because I will fucking defend that movie to death. I love it.
I mean... Here's part of the reason why I don't want to get into that debate is because I don't really know much about Aliens.
I have the high ground.
I've seen it like once, and I was like, yeah, this is good, but Alien is... I really liked Alien.
Yeah,
and
I did
Aliens just... I don't know. Aliens just came off as sort of I guess it's also the same reason why I didn't like any of the Matrix sequels, because the Matrix was... like amazing and iconic and did so many groundbreaking things and was really actually good, and then its sequels, I mean, although they were good, they couldn't, there's no way they could live up to the original.
I will not defend the Matrix sequels, however I will admit that I did enjoy them while I was watching them.
No, the Matrix sequels are definitely enjoyable, at least a little bit.
I like the parts where it's Dragon Ball Z.
I feel like the Matrix, like, after the first Matrix, it devolved so quickly into just cheap action shot
but it was
things.
so awesome.
Yeah, no, I kind
and
of
the
like
black and the green and the tech porn and like the,
all the tech porn.
weird cave orgies. I still
Yeah.
don't understand that part. I mean, Glory of Humanity.
Was that in
that was the
2
second
or
one.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was
There's like
2.
a crate that was really weird seeing Morpheus like strip down and be like, yeah, cave orgy, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne does some interesting
Love
stuff.
Lawrence Fishburne. We should watch Event Horizon. I've been telling Lydia this for the past few days.
What's Event Horizon?
Event Horizon is a horror movie, one of my favorite horror movies, with Sam Neill, the guy who's the dude from Jurassic Park who's like raptors, and Lawrence Fishburne as a spaceship captain.
Interesting.
And it's a horror movie. It's not a science fiction movie, even though it takes place in space.
I like horror movies that take place in space.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hellraiser, but kind of like Warhammer 40K, but kind of like Star Wars, but kind of like Alien. So
could you give me a few more things that it's kind of like?
Hold on.
That was a joke.
Give me a second, because I got more.
That was I make joke.
Kind of like that one episode of Power Rangers when it turned into Alien.
Yeah.
I think it was in Lost Galaxy.
By the way, we have D&D stories this week.
Yeah, we do.
But
We
haven't had
seriously,
for a
we're
while.
watching Event Horizon before we all go home for break.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make this happen.
But yeah, we should get into D&D story. Actually, I mean, this week wasn't much in terms of story.
It was hella interesting though, because I've never had to make a giant moral compass decision in D&D before.
Yeah,
and that was fucking interesting. It was hard definitely and challenging, and the whole aftermath of that was like, oh my god, I feel like a monster.
I know. Basically, what has happened so far is there were a gigantic amount of orcs besieging the city, to the point where it was about 100 to 1 orcs to guardsmen. We were completely fucked. But then some mages figured out some way to make a spell that would basically turn... what was the explanation? It had something to do with the chaos.
It takes this kind of rubs me the wrong way, because I'm totally like that nurture over nature kind of guy. But it's like it's that inherent chaotic spark that is on a divine level that was inserted into the orcs that made the orcs in the first place, and it basically takes that and amplifies it to such a degree that they go mad and basically spontaneously combust in their brains.
Yeah, and the question was, do we use that? Because that is the best option the city had of surviving the siege. Like, if we tried to evacuate, it would have given the orcs a big foothold in the area, and only about 50% of the population would have been able to live. And,
we were basically given
stood
the question
no chance
of,
in a
do we
fight.
use a WMD? And it was...
it was really...
That was a tough decision.
heart-wrenching, because, like... The answer actually became yes.
Yeah, we did. We nuked orcs.
What we did though,
we might have killed Urak. I still don't know if he's alive.
Yeah, I don't know either. I really hope
Urak's
alive.
Character. Oops.
But I mean, the thing that we tried to do was figure out a way to make it so that the spell like was discounted as just a one-off random happenstance type thing.
We still haven't followed up on that or not, because we attributed it to a god. We had one of our friends, Elian, who had become the leader of a elvish militia by that point of like 50 to 100 people, and he had been actually gained because Elian, from the events of our last bit of the campaign where I had to deal with like the time thingies and Donna Hyde and the Lovecraftian beast, he gained minor like sightseeing into the future and can like briefly glimpse the future, and used this to basically build himself up in minor ways so that basically the entire city thinks he's a prophet. And then we used this like influence he had to say, he got up on a soapbox and said, oh, look, the orcs are at our steps. If we pray to the god of elves will save us by murdering all the orcs. And then we went ahead and murdered all the orcs. So we're trying to just basically blame it on the divine intervention, and we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm. And also we're trying to make sure that like I don't know quite what the in-game explanation is, but the sort of the infrastructure, the magical architecture that made this spell possible, the knowledge of that is either like destroyed or lost, so that people won't be able to use it again. Because our characters are justifying this as like dire straits, no other option. This is the only way to get rid of the orc menace at our gates, but we don't want anyone using this for evil.
Yeah, even though we kind of did from a certain perspective.
A little bit.
I mean, is our choice to eradicate the orcs? How many orcs did we kill, like, actually, for Rizzle?
Well, I mean, if the ratio was 100 to 1,
yeah,
and let's say there are, 1,000, 2,000 guards, we killed between 100,000 and 200,000 orcs.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of people. I mean, and there's some of them are still alive, mind you. We went out to check out the debris,
20.
and like there are 20 orcs that lived through it because somehow they didn't have the same spark of nissiness, and they were able to survive it because they were more lawful than chaotic. So alignment saved the day. It's actually kind of funny because Melchior, my character, had to leave the city, otherwise he would have been murdered by the same wave. So I teleported to Peleron and peddled this new invention that I made up last game called suck squids, which are basically these biological blowjob penis pumps. They're these squids that just love sucking things.
Where did you get those?
I made it up.
Yeah, but
where did they physically come from? How do I consistently pull them out of my hammer space?
Yes. How did you discover them? What's the in-game reason for you having them?
I'm chaotic insane. I don't know. Like, I just kind of I chalked it up to Melchior just sort of had these things because he picked them up from like a bartender at some point.
Fair enough.
I mean, come on. It's the kind of thing Melchior would be like, yes, I want these. And then would start breeding them and like have huge tanks of suck squids.
Well,
or squids,
I guess, and this is sort of stealing from a different sort of canon.
Yeah.
But remember the drunk session of D&D? We had the really drunk session we had when it was just Yumi and Lydia.
Yeah.
And our characters got into an octopus tank or something.
Yeah.
I guess we could say it's from that dimension canon time period.
The same dimension
shift.
that has a dragon that would have solved all our problems if the dragon were still around.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not all of our problems. The dragon would probably be conflicted because the dragon was raised by orcs. So,
Poor Balakabab. Anyway.
Yeah, there's that problem.
What was his name? Malaklob. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Hey, I want to ask you about something because
what's up?
I know.
So that's D&D?
Yeah.
Are we done with D&D? Okay.
I mean, that was pretty much it, yeah.
We're done with D&D with Kevin, Ryan, and Colin Suplee.
Okay, so now that we're done with D&D with Kevin, Ryan, and Colin Suplee,
go on. What's up?
There's I did a poetry reading on Thursday.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. How'd that go?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to talk about because it went well, I think. And the reason why I say that is because I have no idea how well it went. The way I gauge an audience, the way I've always gauged an audience, whether I was acting or giving a speech or whatever, is by how much they're laughing when I tell a joke.
Yeah.
And this is poetry, so it doesn't really have a joke in it. I mean, some poetry is funny, but like the poetry that I was reciting, I mean, there were parts of it that were vaguely funny, but, this is a hoity-toity, like, oh, English major thing. It's all very serious and not funny at all. So, of course, no one laughed. And I realized that, like, that's the only way I have to gauge. Well, I mean, not the only way, but I guess that's just a large way of how I gauge an audience's, like a large audience's reaction to something I have to say or perform or do or whatever is by laughter.
Yeah.
And like, how is it possible? I mean, I'm sure it's possible to gauge how interested and involved an audience is, even if they're not laughing, even if they're not giving some sort of vocalization about what they're thinking? Is it possible to like sort of sense just like the feeling in the room of how involved they are?
I don't have that much experience like being on stage, but one thing I do when I'm just talking at people is how many of them are actively attempting to make eye contact with me. That usually tells me that they're interested. I mean, if you're reading a poem, it's hard to do because you're reading the poem.
Yeah.
Unless you just have it like by heart, then you can add a performance element too. But it's like, I don't know. Most of the stuff I do that I present to people, we're in like I'm in the audience too. So it's like,
that's fair. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, okay. The answer is yes. There's definitely a way to gauge it without laughter. But I don't.
But what is that way?
What is that?
Is the second
eye
part
contact,
of my question.
background chatter,
Yeah.
Fidgeting, I don't know, body cues. I guess.
I mean, I guess the other part of the problem is just that it's poetry, and I feel really insecure about poetry to begin with anyway, because like, I don't know, I have no problem sharing other forms of art with people.
Yeah.
Like, I shared my short story with a bunch of people, and that was funny, which is part of the reason why I was able to share it.
Well, yeah, because your story was funny and about, like, murderous chefs. It was great.
Yeah, and because it's just viscerally, definitely entertaining. Or, like, I can share food with people, like, share something that I've cooked, and that's fine. But there's something about, like, sharing poetry with other people that just has me, like, terrified, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's like,
it's more personal, maybe. So that's my gut instinct. Poetry is somehow more like, it's not like constructing even a narrative. It's just like shit you noticed. I mean, I've read the poem that you presented, so it's like, it's just stuff that you saw and stuff that you interpreted, and that's kind of personal. It's not like, and then Darth Vader slashed at Anakin, and then his penis fell off. But it's more like,
but I mean, by that same token, though, it's nothing internal. You know, I'm not describing what's going on inside my head or anything. I'm describing a scene that is completely like, I'm not even in the picture at all. It's just the scene, and I'm just describing it poetically. But for some reason that's harder for me to do than actually telling someone a funny joke. Or I don't really know what it is. I think it might also be that poetry holds
maybe it's academia.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Where did you present this on campus, out of curiosity?
Frank Manor House.
Okay, that's fucking hoity-toity as balls.
Yeah.
So if you like got in there and are like standing next to those plush couches and nice like low light oil candles, you're gonna feel fucking intimidated because everyone's like sitting on their chairs like, oh yeah, yes, I understand. The literary merits of your scholarship are very, very excellent. Oh yes, yeah. So it's like,
no, it was it. I mean, I guess that's part of what it is that poetry carries such a heavy connotation of like academic, pretentious, heavy, very intellectual and analytical, which, you know, one of my favorite poets, W.H. Auden, although he operates on that level, he also operates on a very narrative level. Like, even if you don't analyze any of it, you can still read his poetry and be like, that's good, you know? It rhymes, it makes sense, it's kind of funny, and it's also poignant.
As opposed to some stuff that's just like,
as opposed to like the Wasteland.
Or what Wasteland, yeah. As much as I love the Wasteland, it's like, is this good? No, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Hey, speaking about words and pretension and big things,
Jägermeisters?
I think it's time for our segment on Big Word.
Using big words hurts you.
So,
are we really still doing this?
Yeah, no, of course we're still doing this.
Okay, fine.
Because this is going to be fun, rather than us just talking and not being able to gauge the audience's experience.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you have any tips for us being able to gauge your experience while you're thousands of miles away and hearing this on a recording, let us know in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Okay. Without further ado, let's move on to the big words. This week, the first big word.
I'm supposed to guess what these are.
Yeah, you're supposed to guess what these are.
Okay.
Do you have a pen also?
Fuck no.
Okay. Well, the first word is Hystericine. I will spell it for you. Hystricine. I'm going to grab a pen for a second, just to ruminate on that word.
You know I am not a language scholar in any way, shape, or form, right?
I mean, I know that, which is exactly why I'm asking
So if you
you.
spell it out, I'm not going to be like, oh, root words, Greek and Latin origins. I can't do that like Lydia can.
No, I know, but that's exactly why I think this segment is going to work well, because
All right,
you know
so
nothing about language.
Hystericine.
What does it sound like? What does it sound like that word means, Colin?
Well, hist is kind of like lycanthrope, which is like a werewolf. And Cicine is like Suicune, which is a Pokemon. So it's a Weresuicune, which is like a watery dog Pokemon. So it's like people who in the moon turn into Weresuicunes.
You know, it actually isn't too far off.
Yeah!
Which is the funny thing.
All right.
Hystericine means of, like, or pertaining to porcupines.
Yeah, I totally see how that makes sense. Oh yeah, of course, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
The second word on our list is
Suicune's kind of a big Pokemon.
Unberufen.
Why are you picking all the ones that sound like Pokemon?
Unberufen.
Unberufen. Okay, so Umber is like black or night, I think, and Ufen is German for like schnoz, so it's like a black dick.
Unberufen is an exclamation used to avert ill luck following boasting. So if you were to boast about, oh, I have a very large black dick, then you would say unberufen.
So it is German in origin.
I think so. Don't quote me on that, but it sounds German.
Okay.
Then you would say unberufen to avert the ill luck you would get from boasting.
Sounds like Umbreon, the Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
The next word, I think you just have a giant thing for Pokemon.
Well, yeah. Does that say Brony?
No. It says Braxy. Braxy. The next word is Braxy. What does Braxy mean, Colin?
Okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to really try. Of or pertaining to facial hair.
No. Here, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It has to do with sheep.
Fucking sheep. Walish people.
You mean Welsh people?
Yeah, Welsh people.
No.
Them northern sheep fuckers.
The Welsh aren't in the North, Colin. They're in the West.
Oh. Them silly Europeans.
They're not Europeans either.
You know what? Just hang me, okay? There's too much of a hole that I'm taking right now. I apologize to any sheep fuckers or Welsh people.
So basically, any Welsh people or any people native to Enumclaw.
Come on, more people than just the people of Enumclaw fuck sheep. I can't imagine.
And New Zealand. Sorry.
New Zealand.
Yeah. Missing a...
Did you ever see that deleted scene from like the third Lord of the Rings movie where it just cuts to Aragorn and he's plowing a sheep?
What?
Like on a hill in the morning light. It's just like da 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 da. And he's just like
Meh.
Bah, with a sheep on his
God. No.
The sheep consented. It's okay. The sheep propositioned him for sex.
I'm sure it did.
And he accepted being the king of the north.
Braxy.
Braxy.
What does Braxy
means
mean,
flippant, flirtatious, or wanting to suck on a sheep.
It is a disease
that
sheep constantly face, which causes like epileptic fits.
Oh, poor sheep.
Yeah. The next word is an adjective.
Don't give me any more sad words.
No, this isn't a sad word.
Okay.
This is in fact a happy word, and it's an adjective that describes both you and me.
Does that say Vaporeon?
No, it says ventripotent.
Well, ventrices are those dots on a graph that you use to mark like circles or something, I think. Are they not?
I don't know.
Ventricles, I think, no. Ventricles are in your body.
Ventricle is a medical term for something.
Yes, ventrices, or is it vertices? No, that's vertices. God
Yeah.
damn it. Okay, ventricles are pipes in your body somewhere. I don't know where they are exactly. So ventripotent is being able to breathe incredibly potently into someone else's face. No, you said it's an adjective.
It's an adjective, yeah.
Ravishing. That's my guess. It means ravishing.
Ventripotent means with great capacity or appetite for food.
Damn it.
Yeah. So next time you're really tucking into a large plate of food and
which is every day.
Which is every day. And someone gives you a look, you can just be like, "Hey, I'm not fat, I'm ventripotent."
And they'll be like, "Ah, your long words, they hurt me. Ah, my ventrices."
Okay, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this next word, but I'll give it a try. Lixiviation, I think.
That sounds like a cutting word. Or aviation.
Lixiviation. Cutting isn't too far off. It has to do with blood.
Lack of oxygen, like a decreasing of oxygen content in the blood. Blood cells fucking each other.
Why
Gambling.
are all of your definitions about sex?
Sex is funny. Have you ever seen two things slapping against themselves fucking? It's hilarious. Lixiviation.
Lixiviation. Think medieval doctors.
Plague doctors. Oh, bleeding?
Close. What would you use to make someone bleed? What would you put on them?
Sword?
Well, no. What sort of small worm-like creature?
Leeches.
Yeah.
Bleeding people with leeches.
Yes.
Is that what it means?
Lixiviation means bleeding someone with a leech.
I'm so glad we don't do that anymore. Jesus Christ.
I mean, actually...
I know we do,
no,
but I'm pretending we don't.
Totally do. Leeches are still prescribed as a medical treatment.
But it's not for, like, just taking out blood anymore. What is it? It's like a specific reason you take out blood.
Yeah, I have no idea why. But
back in the day when you just sort of bleed yourself, like, blood.
Okay, our next word is catalectic.
I swear I've heard that before. No, that's cataphatic. Damn it. Oh, that's in my paper for Karen. It's about interpreting God in a manner that...
Catechism.
Yeah.
Cataphatic as opposed to apophatic.
So it's like interpreting language for human ears.
It has to do with language. You're not entirely
got one
wrong
part
there.
of it.
What if I was to say that that your name was Colin Soup? I'm missing what? What am I missing?
3 letters.
Well, yeah.
The end.
Yes.
You're missing the end of my last name.
I'm missing the final syllable.
So missing syllables in language?
It's missing the final syllable. It's incomplete.
There's a word for that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
catalectic.
Cool. There's a word for everything.
Yeah, so if I called you Colin Soup, you could accuse me of being very catalectic.
You call me Colin Soup, and I immediately have memories of first grade. It's like, whoa.
What? Really? Did people call you Colin Soup?
Well, or souply, or souplier, or supple, or supply, soup.
Supplies.
I had a friend in, up until like 3rd or 4th grade, she honest to God thought my last name was spelled Souplee. And she would send each other letters, and she'd write it that way. Like on the letters, Colin Soupley, and then I'm like, oh my God. And then I'd be like, Mom, I want some soup now. I was a little shit when I was younger.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm probably not supposed to say that. I'm probably supposed to say, "Oh no, really?"
No, no, it's okay. I totally fucking was.
Yeah, no, so was I.
I mean,
I feel like everyone was a little shit.
We had our good points. Like we were kids we had good points and we had bad points, and then the bad points sometimes get tempered as you get older.
If I would have met me as a middle schooler, I would have punched me in the face.
I would have probably given me a hug because middle school was a really fucking rough time for me.
Yeah, I mean, same. I would have punched myself in the face and then given myself a hug.
Or actually, know what I would have done? I would have drawn a comic for that middle school Colin and be like, "You're gonna be fucking awesome," and then it would have been like, "Yeah!" That would have been great.
Yeah.
I have a video for you when we're done with this.
Nice.
It's called What is it called? It's called. I think it's called bara pony. Do you know what bara is?
What's bara? No.
Bara is a Japanese fetish for
Oh,
incredibly large, muscular men doing the butt sex.
Oh God.
There's a genre.
It's just the sex show tonight, isn't it? I mean, it is
Isn't
every
it
night.
always? Ooh, oranges.
Outrageous is the next word.
Outrageous. Trying not to say oral. Okay. Other
Has nothing to do with oral.
Most of these don't. Seattle culture. We always talk about Seattle culture.
Yeah, I know.
Enum Claw. But, outrageous.
Outrageous.
Laughing at the color yellow.
No.
Okay.
It's an adjective.
That is an adjective.
Laughing at the color. Laughing.
Okay, a shade
ing, verb.
A shade of yellow that makes you giggly deep inside. It makes those butterflies go.
No, that would be a noun because it's a thing.
Oh my God. Okay.
No, it's an adjective used to describe it. It's an adjective used to describe a weather pattern. Like when Hurricane Katrina was hitting, you could have said it is very outrageous.
So violent weather.
Stormy.
Stormy.
Yeah.
So crimson typhoons is what I'm
getting. I actually knew a guy in high school whose name was Storm.
Really?
Yeah. Storm.
Did he have
Heitman.
storm powers and was a black woman from the 80s wearing leather?
No.
Damn it.
He was a gay white guy. Named Storm Heitman, who was very much into drama. Heitman? Yeah. What?
Like storms are up high, so he's like Storm Heitman, like tall man. Or he could. Did he do drugs?
Probably.
Okay, so Heitman, he gets high a lot. It's the guy who gets high. That's great.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, Storm Heitman. He was actually a really good writer. He went to what's the college in
Cornish?
No.
Berkeley.
In New York. That's,
Ivy League?
That's like in the same. Ivy League is not a college.
Yes, it is.
Ivy League is a number of.
My
colleges.
parents always told me I'd never be able to get into the Ivy League, so I just assumed it was a college.
No, it's it's in the same Poughkeepsie. It's in Poughkeepsie. It's
I don't even think that word's in my vernacular.
Because Vassar is the other college in Poughkeepsie. Marist. He went to Marist.
I have literally never heard of that college.
Yeah, it's a small liberal arts college like this one, except it's on the banks of.
Do they have more money and lower tuition?
Probably.
Well, then why didn't we go there?
Yeah, good question. Fuck
the school. Thanks for giving this lovely facility that we're using to record the show in.
Yeah, without a third mic.
Broken phone, broken mics, broken walls, broken Santa,
Yeah. I mean, has the Black Santa moved at all, actually?
No, he's not, but he's still got that giant gash in his nose.
Okay. The final word is impavid. Can
I use this to describe your dad?
I guess you could.
Would it be fitting?
I mean, in some ways, yeah. Definitely in some ways. I mean, it is an adjective. You are correct. It could be used to describe my father. It could be used to describe middle school Kevin Ryan. Which actually, thinking about that's a very bad comparison to draw my father to the middle school version of me.
Isn't your dad listening to this?
Probably.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Shady and strong-willed?
I mean, strong-willed actually isn't that far off.
Okay.
Like, think...
stubborn?
No, not stubborn. Think, like, he's been in the Marine Corps, man. He's seen some shit. So he's pretty, he's
impavid?
Yeah, he's impavid because, there's, like...
1,000-yard stare?
No.
Okay.
It's like he doesn't have any of a thing that people normally have when things like jump out at you.
Lack of fear?
Yeah.
Like fearless?
Fearless, undaunted.
Huh.
Yeah.
Middle school Kevin was fearless?
Middle school Kevin was extremely fearless because middle school Kevin thought he was the absolute shit. Turns out he wasn't.
Turns out no one in middle school is the shit.
I actually remember in middle school, like, watching a bunch of cars go by. I mean, and this wasn't just like on one occasion.
Yeah.
This happened a lot, where I would watch a car go by and someone in the car would sort of look at me as I was walking on the side of the road. And then other cars would go by, or I'd see people, and I'd be like, oh, I'm probably secretly royalty or secretly famous or something, but everyone is keeping it from me. And all of these people are like my own version of the Secret Service, and they're following me around to protect me.
Don't most kids have that kind of fantasy?
I don't know. I've never talked about this with anyone else, actually.
Fair enough.
Did that ever happen? Did you ever?
I walked over to the
like
high
that?
school once from the middle school, and people saw me playing my Game Boy and were like, "Oh, faggot!" That was basically my middle school experience right there.
That sounds familiar. Unfortunately familiar. Hey, speaking about familiar sounding high school experiences,
oh no!
It's time for late night. Yeah. Okay. So your headphones are shot.
My headphones are totally busted. If you look at the bass, like
What have you been doing to them though? Like
in the studio? I don't know. They like the little cord that like the little pit that always breaks. You know, the part that connects like the wire to your iPod.
Oh yeah.
That bit. Like my headphones, the things themselves are fine. It's just
right.
The little
It's
thing
just
that's
the
breaking.
I mean, you probably like put a bunch of strain on that or something.
Oh yeah, totally. I jerk those around all the time because I'm just like trying to blow them off. But anyway, my headphones are great though because you can actually detach the cord. So I just need to find a new cord. Like just make it work.
Yeah.
What we're gonna talk about? Okay, so I do this thing. In order to that's really weird. Is that when I'm walking, I just catch myself doing this sometimes. As I'm walking around. And I just pretend I make up scenarios in my head where like Colin is the strongest martial artist in the world, and I'm doing this as I'm like walking out of Karen's class, middle English. And I don't know why I do it, but it's just like this residual thing that happens. Like it's not like a conscious thing; it's just like there, and I'm just like imagining like, what if I was super strong, or like, what if all those people that pissed me off, they would like be like, "What up, bitch?" And I'd be like, "Oh no, you didn't," and like throw them into the ground and be like, "Don't you fuck with me, ooh."
I definitely have. I mean, in much less exciting ways.
Yeah.
I mean, and this actually is totally different now that I think of it. I'm a slow thinker. I mean, I'm a thorough, clear thinker. Definitely. That's not to say that
how long it takes you to write an essay. Yes.
Stupid or anything, but I don't think quickly on my feet as.
So don't do improv. Is what I'm getting.
Right. I mean, I can do it, and I'm not bad at it. I'm just not as good as I'm not as good thinking on my feet as I am when I have time to ruminate on something. So whenever someone will catch me off guard, or like an argument will come up that I totally wasn't prepared for, or someone will insult me, and I have to come up with a comeback right on the spot, I always just sort of flounder about for words. And then, like,
I actually
an hour or two later, I'll be like, oh, fucking this point and that point and that point, and oh my god, why didn't I say any of those things?
Dude.
That I would have been perfect if I just, responded, oh, you too.
I actually have a perfect example of you doing that. Remember when we went to see Noah? And in the theater, as soon as the movie ended, that guy got up and was like, yo, you don't, let people enjoy the movie, fuck you, man, towards me. And I was like, dude, sorry, I guess. And you just stood up and like, what the hell? Fuck you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, thank you, Kevin. But also like, that was probably not the best comeback.
Yeah, no. I meant to be, I meant to be
hella appreciate
a
you
little
standing
more
up for me.
like,
that was great. But.
Yeah, no, totally, man.
Yeah.
But I also definitely meant to be a bit more like Mr. Tough Guy, like, about it, and be like, yo, man, fuck you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't ever try that.
No, I know. I should especially not try that in public.
Yeah.
But I was trying to be like Mr. Tough Guy, be like, hey, don't fuck with him, seriously, because I'm tough. Look at me being tough. And the look he gave me when I told him to go fuck himself was like, right, like you could do anything about that.
Oh, come on, we could have taken him.
Maybe.
No, between us. Come on. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Most fat people, aren't black belts, so I usually don't worry
Yeah,
about
but they're
it.
also really fat, which gives them a lot of cushion
Well, just give
against
them a
any
runaround.
punches. Do you
like,
literally
we'll key his
mean
car
like
and then run in circles around the building so he has to chase us? And then when he's out of breath, we'll just like hit him with our knees.
I mean, we should probably destroy this tape because it might implicate us in some crime somewhere.
Fantasizing about murder is not murder, Kevin.
Your words, not mine. I didn't say murder.
No, we're not going to kill anybody.
No, of course not. Never. I would never contemplate anything like that.
Yep. So the other night, I had a dream that I was drag racing with Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones. It was great. We were racing the Pope.
Wait, was the Pope like in the Popemobile?
No, maybe. Tyrion and I were in a giant red bus painted bright red with red riggings.
This sounds like something from like GTA 5 free plays.
It was kind of like Redline. That's a better reference for it. Except with me and Tyrion versus the Pope.
Oh my god.
It's like the Pope is Machine Head, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, do we have a show title? I just realized we don't really have a show title.
Jeez, okay. It's kind of hard to make that shit up on the spot.
Yeah,
just, like,
well,
especially
like in the middle of a show to just be like, oh, do we have a show title?
How about key his car and break his knees?
Yeah.
No, let's not do that. No, bad idea.
That's the...
How about fat people aren't black? No, they'll get pissed at me. I have met fat people who are black belts, and they're like fucking incredibly powerful. But
dude, the guy who taught my like swordplay workshops when I would go to Central for drama, conferences and stuff.
Yeah,
he was the fattest guy I have ever seen.
That's saying something.
He was gigantic. It was also really funny because he would do beginner swordplay workshops, and his thing would always be, okay, well, you don't stand facing someone directly like that. You turn to your side so that you minimize the target area. And he would always go, I know, it's okay, you can laugh.
Because he gets bigger when he turns to the side.
His target area is actually increased. But
God,
fat
I don't
people.
know.
I mean, we could call it drag racing with I don't know.
Drag racing, go-karting with the Lannisters. I don't know. Tywin and drag. There's a movie where Charles Dance is in drag.
What?
The guy who plays Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones gets up in drag and dances in a movie.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about some random Charles dancing in drag. And I was like, do we know Charles?
No, Charles Dance. I think that's his name.
I think that's our show title, actually. Charles Dances in Drag.
Okay. All right, I'll let it be. If I find a better one as I'm realistic to this, I'll use that.
Yeah,
that works fine.
This is also like I'm just getting over sickness, so I don't remember anything that we've said in the past hour. There have definitely been portions in the past hour where it's just hit me that, oh shit, I'm doing a radio show. I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
Nah, it's fine. It makes it more casual. People like the casual.
Yeah,
we are your friends on your couch.
Oh my god. Like this is probably one of our least professional shows.
Well, you know what's really professional?
What?
Talking about other shows on our show. The other day I was listening to an episode of Game Grumps, and I promise it's relevant, and they talked about Black Santa.
What, like our Black Santa?
Not specifically ours, but they just said Black Santa, and I was really happy because we have a giant poster. No, it's not a poster. What is it? It's like a plastic indent.
It's like the thing. I mean, I feel like that's a Christmas decoration, honestly.
No, it's definitely a Christmas decoration, but I don't know what the name for the medium of whatever the fuck it is.
It's like a plastic,
like a
fucking
like a window stamp or something
thing you put on your wall. Yeah. I don't know. By the way, we are almost out of time, so
almost out of time. We have a couple more as
in like we should play the exit song right now to give you time to close up shop and let the next person get ready and everything.
All right, fine, but the hour goes by so quick.
I know the hour goes.
Show.
2-hour show next year.
Show.
No, dear God, if we do a 2-hour show,
we'll need
next
to get another
year,
person in.
We'll,
and do 2
we'll
hours.
definitely need to have a 3-person.
We could do a retrospective. Those are fun. We talk about our life experience with a certain thing.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I think we should stick with the 1-hour format.
Yeah.
2 hours might be a bit much.
A little bit. Anyway, good night, everybody. We love
Next
you.
week will be our last show for this semester.
No!
That'll be show number 12.
On this
so
penultimate episode of
we'll
WWE
made
SmackDown.
a dozen episodes of What the Hell Did You Expect?
No, it's fine. It's a 12-episode series.
Yeah.
Works great.
Until next week when we do our last episode, this has been What the Hell Did You Expect? And we'll see you back here at the same time, same place next week. Goodbye.
It's Batman.